Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. I'll get into today's video coming up here shortly. But first, let me say, I've got 3 shout outs coming up at the end of the video. Stay tuned for those. And also, in case you have not heard yet, Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, fired their head football coach, Matt Wells. It's only his 3rd season, and they've already made a move, so I think they're firing him way too soon. But, of course, that's now the 4th FBS head coach job available because of the LSU opening, the USC opening, and the Washington State opening. But I'm sure there'll be some more by the time the season is over with. That's already the 4th FBS head coach job come available, and we have not quite yet got to November. Of course, we'll be in November next week, which is why in today's video, I'm going to be giving you the AP Top 25 in the world of college basketball. This poll came out last Monday, but I don't think it's going to change until the season starts. So I figured we would go ahead and talk about that. I know a lot of times we forget about college basketball because we love football so much. And of course, if you're a baseball fan, you also have the playoffs going on. And if you're a NASCAR fan, you have the NASCAR playoffs going on. And if you're a hockey fan, NHL is starting. So a lot of times we forget about college basketball, but it starts in November, so it's coming up. So I figured we would talk about that for a second and just run down the AP top 25. Of course, the number 1 team is Gonzaga. The only thing Gonzaga needs to do now is win a national championship. When Mark Few first became their head coach and they started winning, everybody thought it was going to be, a nice, good Cinderella story, but it wouldn't last long. And the first few years they made the tournament, they pretty much just about every year were out by the Sweet 16. But now they pretty much go to the Elite 8 almost every single year. And they've now played for 2 national titles. They just have to win one now to prove that they are here to stay. Because until they win one, they will always have their doubters, even though it's been a decade now, so it should be blatantly obvious that they're not going anywhere. Number 2, UCLA. Number 3, Kansas. Number 4, Villanova. Number 5 is Texas. 6 through 10 is Michigan, Purdue, Baylor, Duke, and Kentucky. And I believe Duke's record last year was 15-14. So it was the worst record they've had in a long time under Coach K. I think they'll be a little better this year, but they're not going to be a lot better. But, of course, it's Coach K's last year. So once college basketball starts, every channel you put it on, every magazine you read, all they're going to be talking about is Coach K's farewell tour. So go ahead and get ready for it because it's coming. 11 through 15 is Illinois, Memphis, Oregon, Alabama, and Houston. 16 through 20 is Arkansas, Ohio State, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Florida State. And then 21 through 25 is Maryland, Auburn, St. Bonaventure, UConn, and Virginia. And, of course, Virginia just won a national championship a couple of years ago. And, of course, North Carolina is now under a new head coach with Roy Williams retiring after last year. And if you follow basketball at all, you know North Carolina is pretty much a perennial powerhouse. So even though it's going to be Davis's first year as the coach, by year 3, if North Carolina has fallen off the map, then it'll be obvious that they made the wrong move. But, of course, right now everybody thinks they made the right move. We shall find out coming up here in a couple of years. And I also want to discuss the World Series for a minute since the World Series starts tonight. Now, of course, we know the Braves beat the Dodgers to make it to the World Series, and the Astros beat the Red Sox to make it to the World Series. The Astros are managed by Dusty Baker, who has now reached the World Series in the National League and the American League because he was the manager of the Giants when they played the Angels in, I believe, 2002 in the World Series. And the Braves, of course, are managed by Brian Snitker. And I've got to be honest, when the Braves first hired Brian Snitker, I thought it was the wrong move. I didn't like the decision, and it wasn't because Hank Aaron is the one that pretty much hired Brian Snitker. It was because he'd been in the Braves organization for 75 years. And to me, if you've been in the organization for 75 years and you haven't been offered a job yet, you suck. Because we know in any sport, no matter if it's baseball, basketball, football, whatever, if you're a player, you rise up to the major leagues pretty quickly. And if you're a manager or a coach, depending on the sport, you rise up through the organization pretty quickly. So to me, being he had been there all those years and never had the job, I pretty much thought, okay, this is the wrong move. And he changed my mind this year. He grew on me because of the fact that you look at how many guys in the rotation got hurt this year. And the Braves just had to keep sending out all kind of starting pitchers. At one time this year, they had used, I think, like 13 or 14 starting pitchers because of all the injuries they had. And then, of course, Acuna got hurt. Ozuna got suspended. Travis d'Arnaud got hurt. And they tried like 5 different people at catcher. And none of them worked out. And at one time this year, nobody in the bullpen was pitching worth a darn. The only one that could do anything was Luke Jackson. And last year, Luke Jackson was terrible. So it just, it showed you how bad the Braves were this year. And they were below 500 in April and May and June and July. And Brian Snitker just kept saying, we'll be fine. Don't panic. Don't panic. He could have easily threw in the towel and said, you know what? It's just not our year. Fate is just not on our side this year. But he didn't. He kept the team together, kept putting the guys out there, and kept giving them chance after chance. And now the second half of the season, the bullpen has been great. The starting rotation has been great, even though some of them are still injured. So Brian Snitker has grown on me this year. So hopefully the Braves can prove all the doubters wrong. Now I know people that follow sports, they always make fun of Georgia teams because you can look at any sport and there ain't been a team in Georgia win anything since 95 when the Braves won it. Now, sure, they've won, maybe gymnastics championships and things like that, but I'm talking about as far as the major teams and the major sports, nothing has been won since 95. So it's been 26 years since any team in Georgia has won anything of significance. But if the Braves lose this series, I don't think it's because a Georgia team had another choke job. Because if you look at both teams' lineup, the Astros are the better team. The Astros are picked to win the World Series. So to me, if the Braves lose this World Series, it's not a Georgia team with a choke job. It's a team that lost to a better team. If the Braves win, they pulled off the upset, which is good, but losing when you're an underdog is not the same thing as choking. Choking is when you play a series or a game in other sports that you are the better team and you're supposed to win and you lose. When you lose to the better team, you didn't choke. You lost to the better team. But the Braves lineup for tonight, which will probably be the same lineup they'll have tomorrow night, because if you know, Games 1 and Game 2 are in Houston, which of course means the Braves will have a designated hitter, so the pitcher will not be hitting. So this is probably the lineup they'll have in the first 2 games unless there's an injury, which can happen because if you follow the Braves, you know against the Dodgers, Hugh Escar was supposed to pitch Game 4, and about 2 hours before game time, he had to be scratched because his arm was hurting, and of course now he is out for the playoffs, and the Dodgers were supposed to start Max Scherzer in Game 6, and he said he couldn't pitch because his arm was dead. So injuries can happen, but if not, this is probably what the Braves lineup is going to look like in Games 1 and 2. Eddie Rosario is going to play left field, and Eddie Rosario just tied a major league record with the most hits in a playoff series. He tied the record, I believe, held by 4 other people. The only difference is the 4 other people all had 14 hits in 7 games, and Rosario had 14 hits in 6 games. So he averaged almost 2.5 hits a game in the NLCS, so he's tearing the cover off the ball. As long as he swings the bat like that, he's going to be in the lineup every day somewhere. We got first baseman Freddie Freeman batting second. Ozzie Albies batting third, playing second. Austin Riley playing third base, batting cleanup. And Jorge Soler will be the designated hitter. In right field, batting sixth, Jock Peterson. In center field, batting seventh, Adam Duvall. Behind the plate, batting eighth, is Travis d'Arnaud. And playing shortstop, batting ninth, will be Dansby Swanson. And Charlie Morton will be on the mound for the Braves. The Astros are going with Framber Valdez on the mound, and their lineup will look something like this. Jose Altuve will bat leadoff and play second. Michael Brantley, the left fielder, will bat second. Alex Bregman, the third baseman, will bat third. And Yordan Alvarez, the cleanup hitter, is the DH. Carlos Correa will bat fifth and play short. Kyle Tucker, the right fielder, will bat sixth. And Yuli Gurriel will bat seventh and play first base. And center field, batting eighth, will be Chas McCormick. And batting ninth and catching will be Martin Maldonado. And for the Astros, the right fielder, Kyle Tucker, likes to run and run a lot. It would not surprise me if he broke the World Series record for most steals in the World Series if he gets on base, because when he gets on base, he likes to run and run a lot. So the Braves need to keep Tucker off the base paths as much as they possibly can. So if you're a World Series fan or a baseball fan, then you can start getting pumped up because the World Series starts tonight, and games 1 and 2 will be in Houston before the off day on Thursday when they head back to Atlanta for games 3, 4, and 5. Of course, the Braves have not made the World Series since 1999, so it's been 22 years. And in 99, they played the Yankees and lost all 4 games and did not win one. So hopefully this series will go at least 6 games, and I believe it will, because we know by now, if you follow the Braves are notorious for making the playoffs, and then playoffs come around and the Braves just stop hitting the ball. And I thought it was going to be the same way this year, because against the Brewers, the Braves just did not hit, but they still won the series because the Brewers also cannot hit. But against the Dodgers, who have great pitching, the Braves offense got a little bit better every game. So you're going to have the Braves great pitching against the Astros great hitting. And then you're going to have the Braves decent lineup, which has hit pretty good in the past month or so, against the Astros, who just do not have that good of a rotation. So this World Series may be a little bit higher scoring than most World Series. We'll have to wait and see. So if you're an Astros fan, good luck to you. If you're a Braves fan, good luck to you. Let's just hope that it goes at least 6 games, because you don't want to wait 6 months for the World Series and then get there and it's over with in 4 games. And I do think it will go at least 6 games. If not, I will be surprised. Let me go ahead and get my shout-outs in here. My first shout-out goes to Tyler. He subscribed to the channel yesterday. He's a Braves fan and a wrestling fan, so I'm sure he enjoyed today's video since we discussed the World Series, which starts tonight. My next shout-out goes to Annie, who lives in Florida, and even though she lives in Florida, she is a Clemson fan. She wanted me to say, go Tigers. And my last shout-out goes to John, who lives in the upstate of South Carolina. He's a football fan and a hockey fan. In college football, I believe he likes the Gamecocks. In the NFL, he likes the Dallas Cowboys. And I told him yesterday when he subscribed, the same thing I've said here on the channel this year, that I think Kellen Moore is a phenomenal offensive coordinator, and I think he'll be a head coach coming up here in 2 or 3 years. So as long as the Cowboys have Kellen Moore, I do think their offense will continue to improve. So Tyler, Annie, and John, thank all three of you so much for subscribing. Tell your friends, tell your family. Give the video a thumbs up, and don't forget, when we get to 1,000 subscribers, we are having a giveaway. So the quicker we get there, the quicker we will have our giveaway. And Tyler, Annie, and John, since the three of you have now subscribed, all you have to do is get on the channel and comment. Once you comment one time, you are eligible. You can comment as many times as you would like, but one comment is all you need. But just remember, not just to y'all, but everybody, that it is a public forum, so please keep it family friendly. And I do encourage trash talk. So once you start getting people on the channel that you know, please feel free to have some good, clean trash talk. That's the main reason why I started the channel, because I love trash talk. But not everybody is easygoing when it comes to sports. Some people take sports way too serious, and if their team loses, they act like they're going to die. So don't trash talk somebody you don't know, because they may take it a little bit too serious. But as long as you got somebody on the channel that you know, please feel free to trash talk, because if people trash talk and people see other people trash talking, they will start trash talking. And good, clean trash talk in sports is what sports is all about, in my opinion, as long as the people you know that you're just trash talking. I'm all about it. So please feel free to do it. Just remember, it's a public forum, so please keep it family friendly. And thanks to everybody for subscribing. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. My friend Jack claims he can communicate with vegetables. Jack and the Beans talk. And that wraps it up for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.